express ourselves throughout the generations. And they understand that. They understand that, I mean, you can give a good sermon or you can give a good speech, and it motivates people. You know, people get a rise out of it. They get a feeling out of it when you speaking to a people, when you talking to exactly something that they're going through in life. And they understand that. They understand also, as I talked about in the calculated destruction of the black man and woman, they understand, one, how music affects us and how music affects the brain and how powerful music is. And, you know, just understanding about what white supremacy is and the things that they would need to do to be in a position of power that they are in. There's no way you can look at, you know, this culture, you can look at hip hop and believe that they would not control it. And this is the problem. Like, we don't really want to tackle that subject, that issue. And Jay-Z even talked about it. And you had other people coming out and talking about it like, hey, we don't own this shit. But it's the consumer's fault. It's our problem. And it's because we don't care. And it's like we complain, but we don't really fucking care. And I don't understand how that works. And we complain all the time, but we're not caring who is controlling our music and controlling what we are hearing. I hear a lot of people complain about a lot of these new artists, me one of them, and about, you know, the state of hip hop, but we don't control it. You know, like, we calling it black music. It's not even black music no more, as they have, you know, obviously shown us, because they bringing in so many people, you know, into the culture, and they slowly changing the culture, and it's changed already. It's not what it used to be. You know, the artists who we really want to hear, the ones who could really uplift us, are gone. They're not putting out that music mainstream that we really want to hear, that really lifted us up. And, you know, when you take it back and look at it, they experimented with us. And it's basically what they did. They experimented with black folks to see what the masses would appeal to. And this is why you go back to the 50s and 60s, and we had our music era. And, you know, we had rock and roll. We the ones who invented it. You know, we had jazz and the blues and pop and soul, R&B, and eventually hip hop and everything like that. And they seen how it broke barriers. You know, we seen how, you know, even Little Richard, James Brown, you know, Ray Charles, how it didn't matter what color you was. They had everybody running to their shows. Black, white, it didn't matter. And they understood that. And they learned from us. It's the same thing with television. You know, they had their television shows, don't get me wrong, and they had their musicians, but it didn't transcend, you know, both black and white. We wasn't feeling that bullshit. We wasn't feeling what they was putting out. So since white people was feeling what we was putting out, this is what they went with. So we had our TV shows I talked about in the 90s. You know, we had Martin, and we had, you know, Family Matters, and we had Living Single, and we had A Different World. We had a lot of black shows, Rock. We had all these shows that was really, you know, giving them understanding about what the masses would appeal to. And they learned from that and canceled all that shit and then put their stuff out. And it was, you know, too late, you know, by that time, because we done had gangster rap, the crack epidemic, you know, private prisons. All that stuff was in place. So once our shows went off the air and everything that was really teaching us to go in the right direction, you know, as a people, once that stuff was gone, you had a different world where you had black folks in college. You had, even with Family Matters, when you had the black family intact, you know, doing well. Steve Urkel was a genius. I talked about this before. You know, even with Martin, I mean, they had, you know, he was a radio DJ. You know, they had good jobs. They still, you know, economically was cool when you pay attention to, you know, what was going on. And Living Single, I mean, come on. Those all professionals, black professionals, the look that we had back then with those shows was a good look for us. And that had to be done away with to usher in, you know, the hip hop culture, plain and simple. And then everything changed. We haven't had shows like that since then, black shows. We haven't had none. And everything we started seeing after that had to deal more with black people in poverty, you know, so they knew what they was doing. This was strategic. This was a plan. And hip hop played a big part of it. You know, it was the major thing that brought it all down, because they wanted to not cast us in that light no more, to only have us be cast in that light of this hip hop culture. And here it is today. And people still refuse to believe and accept what has happened. And we're going to continue, you know, to have this argument. And it's not enough people talking against it. Everybody want to complain. Everybody want to talk about how bad things is, but nobody want to address the real issue because they find entertainment in it. And you can keep talking about how good or the little things that these artists do or what have you, it doesn't really make up for what the whole culture is has done and is doing to our people. It don't make up for it. And somebody like Kanye coming out saying what he's saying, nobody should really be surprised when you listen to everything else, you know, these artists have said. So now the craziest question and the craziest thing I've heard, you know, black people say about this whole thing is, how should we as black people address the Kanye West situation? How should we address it? Like, as if what we say, he's going to hear it and it's going to really affect him. How should we address it as black people? Come on. First of all, we know this. He's going to come out with a new album or come out and say something, and probably in a couple months from now, a year from now, ain't nobody going to give a shit about what's going on today. Because that's how, you know, the whole lure of the entertainment industry, he's famous, he's rich, he's a celebrity. So people talking all this shit, they seeing Kanye West in person, they probably all on his dick, you know, trying to get an autograph, trying to take a picture. So let's keep it real. People don't really care. It's just because mainstream media is talking about it. Everybody want to be, you know, up to date on what people are talking about so they can, you know, leave a post. And that's basically what it is. People don't give a shit, you know. They don't really care because you don't care what happens to your kids. You don't care, you know, what they're getting for school lunch. You don't care that they have, you know, inadequate equipment and books and materials in their school. People don't care about that shit. Just go to school, get them out my hair. You know, ain't nobody down there trying to march for better schools. All these schools being shut down, especially in Philadelphia where I'm from. People ain't saying shit. They don't care. You know, everybody's driven by the media, driven by the culture and what the culture thinks and says. So if right now we ragging on Kanye, okay, let the memes begin. So the memes is flowing and everybody getting a big laugh out of it, but nobody really cares how it's really affecting, you know, the culture and everything else. This is what we do. This is the culture now. It's what it is. Everything is fucking fake. You know, everything is just messed up and twisted and ass backwards. And this is how we got to deal with it. So, you know, as far as what we should do exactly what we've been doing. Plain and simple, absolutely nothing. Just ignore it. Plain and simple, because it's a distraction meant to be a distraction, clearly. This dude knew the kind of reaction he was going to get when he said that out his mouth. I mean, these people have publicists and managers and people in their corner and stuff like that. I can't imagine any of his black friends, anybody that got some common sense, you know, let him say that. I mean, he probably got a lot of yes men and all that stuff like that, but somebody care about him, you know, to say, yo, you was wrong. You need to apologize. And Kanye is all about expression and freedom. And if he felt like saying that, you know, that's how he is. I felt like saying it. And a lot of people believe he got a reason for saying what he's saying and he going to bounce back and have something, you know, to make up for what he said. And that's basically what's going to happen. He's going to say some shit and, you know, it is what it is. But what he did do, which was crazy, is, you know, he basically left, you know, a song basically saying, fuck y'all, because the song was nothing. Everybody, oh, Kanye West dropped a new song, you know, they put it out there. It was him basically saying a bunch of bullshit, which basically mean to me, fuck out of here. He don't care. He don't care. And you shouldn't either. You know, he shouldn't buy his shit. He shouldn't care. You shouldn't be fucking, you know, giving him so much money. And it is what it is. But the white folks won't give him the money because white folks want to believe what he's saying is true. So he can go ahead and alienate black folks and he can go ahead and say all this shit and what's going to happen. Y'all ain't really supporting him. Y'all bootlegging this shit or y'all ain't really buying any fucking way. The white folks is, though. They spending the money and they going to keep spending the money. Plain and simple. They sell those tickets real high in the front row because they know white folks going to pay for them. That's why you always see a bunch of white folks in the front row and all the black poor people in the back. Can't really afford to have bought the ticket. But he get to go ahead and all these rappers get to go ahead and scream, kill all these niggas and shoot these niggas up in these concerts in front of a bunch of fucking white folks. And, you know, that's what it is. So that's what the culture is about. You know, we get, as I said, two sides to the coin. We got to deal with both sides. They only got to deal with one side. We got to deal with the positive and the negative side of the coin. They only got to deal with the positive side. So they get to be entertained. We get to be entertained and deal with all the backlash and the fact that it's destroying our image and destroying, you know, how the world looks at us as a people. So, fuck Kanye, and you know, and all the rest of these sellouts. They sold y'all out. I don't understand why y'all want to focus on these people. Sold us out, and they're gonna keep selling us out. And that's what it is. We have accepted that. We found entertainment in it, and it is what it is. So, you know, why even discuss it? And why so many people is focused on it? And every time it just never fails, which is why I said, yo, just ignore this stuff. It never fails. Every time they come out with something, we as black people, we got to defend ourselves against, you know, white supremacy. And now we got to defend ourselves against one of our own. I mean, it's crazy. It's the constant attack on us. Every time we look up, there's some racist shit pop up, or somebody says something racist, or some dumb shit pop up, and it never fails. And we keep entertaining this shit as if something is going to change because we said something. It's bullshit. So again, you know, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it, just like you're entitled to yours. But my whole thing is this to you people, to black folks, you know, to my people. Listen, you really want to do something about this? If you really want to piss these people off or make some kind of, some kind of noise or movement, be successful. That's all you got to do. Be successful. Start creating generational wealth. Stop being selfish. Stop thinking about what you won't be able to achieve in your lifetime, and focus on your child's lifetime and what you can do in the future. You know, so your child don't have to grow up and deal with this poverty bullshit. Be successful, because that's the only way we're going to be able to fix anything. As I said before in the previous video, we're so far behind, you know. Us simply not stopping at these, shopping at these retail stores is not going to make a huge dent in the economy of, you know, white people. It's not going to really affect the major overall economy. We're so far back, but we got to start somewhere, and we got to start fast and soon. So that's the way to begin, because that's what matters right there, is the economic position that we are in. And that's what they really care about, because money talks, plain and simple. And we got to start. We not freaking raising no journalists, and we not raising no politicians, and we not raising people to be in high positions, you know, as far as in this structure. And don't get me wrong, even if we did, we probably wouldn't get in anyway. But as far as economics, that's something we can control. That's something we can go ahead and box them out and put our money, you know, with our people. But you know, if we not willing to do that, you know, we got to accept what they give us. It's just that simple. Can't complain if you're not trying to do nothing to change the situation. It's just that simple. So, you know, one of the reasons why I put out the personal economic series, as I always say, to try to get people to change their mindset and to understand that, you know, spiritually, you're not going to be right because physically you're held down by so much. You know, the whole weight and pressure of these material things, it's not going to really allow you to release spiritually. You're not going to be able to really do anything with meditation because you're so locked into physical things, worried about rent, bills, and, you know, material possession. So it's better that you have financial freedom so you can go ahead and release, you know, have some kind of, you know, relaxation. So when you do get into meditation, you're not focused on material possessions when you need to be focused on spiritual. And we can't do that because everybody immersed in what that girl looks like, you know, what kind of car this dude got, you know. And we talk about stuff that's far-fetched, like motherfuckers not even making, you know, $50,000 a year, and they focused on, you know, $1 million cars. So if you really want to make a difference, you know, be successful. Get rich, create black businesses, black jobs for black folks, and, you know, invest your money wisely and do things that's going to benefit black people. And that's basically what we can do. That's how we begin, you know, and we haven't even done that in many cases. You know, with somebody like Kanye, what he says, you know, what any of these celebrities say is not really going to, you know, really affect most people in their personal everyday life. At the end of the day, you are regular you, working 9 to 5, doing what you got to do. And you got to take care of your family. You know, you got to take care of your future and your legacy and what you want to leave behind and where you want to be at in the next, you know, 10 years. So focus on that. You know, this is what we need to be focusing on, and not really get caught up in this drama. Even though it's entertainment, shit is funny to a lot of people. A lot of people find entertainment in a lot of this garbage, and it is what it is as far as that aspect. But, you know, if you're doing what you got to do, if you focusing on, you know, success, you know, you're entitled to that type of stuff. So it's just a lot of people who are not, and a lot of people who are just really worried and focused on the wrong type of stuff that trying to blow it up and make it, a big deal. And that to me is crazy. It's like, why make this a big deal? Forget about it. Because if it was somebody else, it wouldn't be mainstream. They would have pushed it under the rug. They would have talked about it probably once, and then it would have been over. There's a lot of stuff that these white folks done said and did and been able to come back, and make a recovery and still be able to get money and still be able to do shit. Because they can say stuff and still get their money from their people, because they people putting out most of the money anyway. So they can say little shit here and there and still make sales, And we not buying most of the hip hop any fucking way, white man is anyway. So they can say that and still make their sales and still sell out their concerts and their shows. So we got to understand that and stop supporting this shit, plain and simple. And it is what it is. We keep jumping into it because white people doing it. As I said before, we got to stop that and understand what the stuff is, and that it's here and given to us to destroy us, plain and simple. Nothing really, else to say. So I ain't want to make this too long. Just, talk about the fact that you have 7%. If we talking about all the black people, it is, 7 out of 100% black businesses. And that's crazy. Out of 100% of the black folks, only 7% have businesses. That's a problem. That's what we got to be focusing on. That's what we got to change. A lot of people getting the money to do so and not willing to do it for all the reasons I talked about in the last video. So again, we got to make the situation and conditions better for people who are able to obtain black business and have a black business, for them to be successful. And we got to support them just like we support everybody who's trying to oppress us. So that's basically what we need to be focusing on, what we need to be doing. So don't want to make this too long. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and see you next video.